about tariffs on many European allies, including the UK, and that's provoked Sir Keir Starmer to come out fighting, I suppose.
Yeah, it took them a while last night. I suppose when you're the government, you always have to be very careful what they say. We know that Trump is incredibly sensitive. They're very mindful that they want to have a very good relationship with America. So Kevin Badenoch was straight out the block saying this was a terrible thing. Ed Davey went even further, as you might expect. But it was radio silence from Number 10 for quite a few hours.
Is that partly coordinating with European allies?
Yeah, that'll be part of it as well, because they need to have some sort of, as you say, coordinated, unified response. But, you know, by Keir Starmer's standards, this was quite strong.
Yeah.
These words, you know, completely wrong. And to be fair, you know, Starmer has been very consistent on Greenland, you know, all the way along, saying it's not up to anyone else other than the Greenlanders themselves and Denmark to decide on the future of Greenland. Certainly not for Donald Trump to decide, as he seems to want to do.
Yeah, and obviously there's, I mean, the headline reflects the fact that they think that the Prime Minister is pretty angry about this, so that he's blindsided by it, had absolutely no forewarning of it. And there are kind of serious issues here, aren't there? There's the sort of the future of NATO and the Western Alliance. Should Trump try to buy, I think he said, Greenland? But also the implications of tariffs are also very serious for this country. You know, these would be on top of the sort of baseline 10% that I think we have for most products at the moment. The prospect of another 10% on top of that with a very tight deadline. I think it's 1st of February.
25% from June.
Exactly, if something's not agreed by then. So this is a difficult one.
Yeah, it's throwing away the special relationship that got us quite a good tariff in the first place when Trump started with his tariffs. And all of a sudden, poof, it's gone in a blink of an eye. And it must be very difficult for Starmer, really, because I think he believes he's built a good relationship with Trump, and it just goes to show it actually stands for nothing, despite all the pomp and ceremony we've offered him, despite the fact the King and Prince William are going over this year. Really, it means nothing if Trump's in, I guess, one of his moods is the only way I can think of to put it, really.
Well, yeah, and it's difficult to know whether this is a negotiating tactic. It's difficult to know what the reaction back in the States will be as well, from his own administration, but also from wider Congress as well. Difficult to know where this could go next.
Well, absolutely, and you know, we've never seen anything like this
Extraordinary,
before. And also, it's the signal it sends out to countries like China, who have designs on Taiwan, and also, you know, the message it sends to Putin. And we know that Trump sometimes it speaks out both sides of his mouth when it comes to the war in Ukraine. But again, how can you say to Putin, no, you shouldn't have designs on another country, when now Trump has clearly got designs on Greenland? And yeah, the whole thing is just a complete mess, basically.
Let's move on, though, to another issue. And, Charlotte, take us to the front of the Sunday Mirror, because they are focusing on Harry's next trip to the UK and whether or not he's likely to see the King. Yeah,
so Harry's going to be in the UK next week, and he's not going to see the King. He's not going to see Prince William. And very interestingly, the Mirror's got a source quote that says the King's diary means he will be engaging with communities this week. And I think that's a very pointed statement. I think they're saying, look, the royal family do good work, we meet people, this is what the royal family is about. It's not about coming to the UK, causing a big press media storm. And in September, he did meet with the King, so there was some hope he might see the King again. But it looks like that's not going to happen because it's to do with the court case, the King's disapproving, essentially. Obviously, there was no chance of William meeting him because they actually can't stand each other. But the next time they might meet is possibly in July, when Harry's due to come over again, this time with Meghan, because it's 1 year until the Invictus Games happens in Birmingham in 2027, next July. So there's hope that by then he will meet the King, but certainly not on this visit.
Yeah, and what do you make of that, Kevin? Because there was quite a lot of talk, wasn't there, in September, that perhaps that meeting was sort of going to build a pathway to a reconciliation. Yeah. Does this feel like a knockback, or do you think it genuinely is diary issues?
I mean, certainly as a non-expert, I mean, Charlotte's the expert here, but as a non-expert, it does look bad, really, doesn't it? I mean, they don't see one another very often, to put it mildly. And you would think that if there was a real desire to meet, some sort of accommodation could be reached, yeah, the whole thing's just very sad, really, on a
big
human level.
Of family relations. You strip away the royal titles. This is a family that haven't managed to mend bridges for a number of years. And we were talking, weren't we, about the fact that Prince Harry has been very open with the media about that relationship, and maybe that's the stumbling block. That is what Prince William is, that red line for him, which he'll never be able to get over. It's fascinating.
I think William doesn't trust Harry at all, doesn't want to ever meet him because he thinks it'll be leaked to the media.
Is that gone forever, do you think? They will never ever reconcile?
I think not with William. I mean, possibly with the King, but Harry's spoken a lot in Spare about how awful it was when he couldn't get through to his grandmother because of diary clashes, and it feels like this is what's happening again.
But could the review of his security that I think is going on at the moment, could that be key to some sort of progress, do you think?
I think so. I think if he does get his security, then he can bring Meghan over in July. But he doesn't have security for this, and that he was never going to get security for this one.
We are going to leap ahead to a story, because we haven't got as much time this hour, but there's a story that I know that you really want to talk about. So let's get on to that.
Cheese and cats, Kevin Schofield.
Yes, cottage cheese and cats, yes.
Which one would you like? Two separate stories. Two separate stories. Well, can I talk about the cat just quickly?
Yeah, he's obsessed with this cat story.
OK.
It's a mad story. So this is a man from Newcastle, Mark McAuliffe, who has paid £16,000 to have his cat, which is dead now, Bonnie, cryogenically frozen in a clinic in Switzerland in the hope that they could be reunited in future, that the cat could be brought back to life and then they could meet once again. Now, this cat was 23 when it died. It was very old for a cat, and he'd had it since it was a 5-week-old kitten, since he was 16 years old, Mark McAuliffe. So, very attached to the cat, but £16,000?
I think the cat probably wants to stay dead. He's already had 9 lives.
I don't know if anyone's asked the cat, actually.
But this man as well wants to come back to meet his cat in 100 years' time. I don't want to be alive in 100 years' time.
Definitely
I'm sorry,
not.
I just don't.
No,
Yeah, I'm with Charlotte. Not
Apocalyptic scenes coming.
I'll be here doing the press preview. After being cryogenically preserved. It's not going to happen. And Gen Z cheese, that was the other thing. Anyway, yes, thanks very much.
The best thing about being a Sky News journalist?